In 1978, a groundbreaking psychology experiment revealed something extraordinary. Two groups of participants were given an impossible puzzle to solve. The first group gave up after an average of 20 minutes. The second group, they were still trying to solve it 3 hours later when the researchers had to end the experiment. The only difference between these groups? It wasn't intelligence, it wasn't skill, it was simply what they believed about themselves. That experiment haunts me because it exposes a brutal truth. Most of us are living at 40% of our potential, not because we lack ability, but because we lack confidence. I see it every single day. Brilliant minds dimming their light, visionaries playing it safe, leaders who could transform industries choosing to blend into the background. Let me be direct with you. Your lack of confidence isn't just costing you opportunities. It's robbing the world of your unique contribution. That promotion you didn't pursue, those ideas you kept to yourself, that business you never started, that relationship you were afraid to fight for, each of these represents not just a personal loss, but a ripple effect of unrealized potential that could have impacted countless lives. 2 months ago, I worked with a software developer who was terrified of public speaking. His innovations could revolutionize how we handle cybersecurity, but his fear kept him silent. Last week, he delivered a TED Talk that received a standing ovation. The difference? He didn't learn new technical skills. He didn't become a different person. He simply understood and applied the principles I'm about to share with you today. Here's what fascinates me. Confidence isn't fixed. It's not genetic. It's not a lottery you either win or lose at birth. It's a skill, a science, a formula that once understood can be replicated by anyone, anywhere, regardless of their past or present circumstances. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 transformative principles that will revolutionize your relationship with confidence. These aren't theoretical concepts or motivational fluff. They are battle-tested strategies that have helped thousands of people break free from the prison of self-doubt and step into their true power. What you learn in the next few moments won't just change how you feel about yourself. It will change how you show up in every area of your life. Are you ready to discover what you're truly capable of when self-doubt no longer holds you back? Because today everything changes. Let's shatter some myths about confidence right now. Most people think confidence is that loud, charismatic energy that fills a room. They picture the smooth-talking salesperson or the fearless public speaker. But true confidence? It's something entirely different. Think about a master surgeon performing a delicate operation. They're not loud. They're not putting on a show. They possess something far more powerful, a quiet, unshakable certainty in their abilities. That's real confidence. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being absolutely certain of your value, regardless of who's watching. Here's what fascinates me about confidence. It's the only resource in the world that, when used, actually increases rather than depletes. Every time you step into a challenging situation with confidence, your capacity for confidence grows. It's like a muscle that strengthens with each rep. But most people never start the workout. The science behind confidence is equally compelling. Research shows that confident people don't just feel better. They literally perform better. Their bodies produce different hormones. Their brains process challenges differently. When you're confident, your brain releases neurotransmitters that enhance focus, improve decision-making, and accelerate learning. You become a better version of yourself on a biological level. But here's the biggest misconception about confidence. People think it's about feeling good all the time. Real confidence isn't the absence of fear or doubt. It's the ability to move forward powerfully despite those feelings. The most confident people I know still feel fear, still experience uncertainty. The difference is they don't let these emotions drive the car. Understanding this truth liberates you from the greatest obstacle to confidence: the belief that you shouldn't feel nervous, uncertain, or afraid. These feelings don't negate your confidence. They're simply part of being human. True confidence is your capacity to act in the face of these feelings, to move forward when everything inside you wants to retreat. Let me ask you something that might shake you. If I could buy you for what you think you're worth and sell you for what you're actually worth, I'd be the wealthiest person on this planet. That's not flattery. That's mathematics of human potential. You see, most people confuse price with value. Price is what the market says you're worth, your salary, your social status, your bank balance. But value is intrinsic. It's immutable. Think about a bar of gold in the depths of the ocean. Does it become less valuable because it's hidden from view? Does a diamond lose its worth because it's still in the rough? Of course not. Yet every day I meet extraordinary individuals who discount their value based on temporary circumstances or others' opinions. Let me share something powerful with you. Last year I worked with a woman named Alexandra. She was a brilliant strategist, but she'd internalized every rejection, every criticism, every setback as evidence of her worth. During our first session, I asked her to list her achievements. She spoke for exactly 47 seconds. Then I asked her to list her failures. She spoke for 15 minutes. See the pattern? Most of us have become experts at documenting our shortcomings while discounting our victories. Here's the truth that transformed Alexandra's life, and it's about to transform yours. Your worth isn't determined by your last success or your last failure. It's not measured by your job title, your relationship status, or your social media following. Your worth is inherent, immutable, and absolute. The only variable is whether you choose to recognize and act from this truth. Think about this. Every major breakthrough in human history came from someone who dared to value their ideas, their vision, their potential more than they valued the opinions of others. Einstein was called a fool. The Wright brothers were called crazy. Every visionary throughout history faced the same challenge you're facing right now, the challenge of trusting their inherent worth in the face of opposition. But here's where we get practical. Knowing your worth isn't about standing in front of a mirror repeating affirmations, though that can help. It's about creating new mental pathways through consistent, deliberate action. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to do 3 things. First, you're going to create your personal value statement. This isn't a resume or a list of achievements. It's a declaration of who you are at your core, your non-negotiable worth. Write it down, read it every morning. Let it be the first thing your mind processes each day. Second, you're going to start maintaining a victory log. Every night before bed, write down 3 ways you added value that day. They don't have to be huge. Maybe you made someone smile, solved a problem at work, or took a step toward your goals. This isn't about ego, it's about training your mind to recognize your continuous contribution to the world. Third, and this is crucial, you're going to start practicing value-based decisions. Before every choice, ask yourself, what would someone who truly knows their worth do in this situation? Then act accordingly. This simple question will revolutionize your decision-making. Alexandra used these exact strategies. Within 6 months, she hadn't just doubled her income. She had transformed how she showed up in every area of her life. Her relationships improved. Her creativity exploded. Her leadership impact multiplied. Not because she became a different person, but because she finally understood and acted from her true worth. Remember this. The world will always try to assign you a price, but you have the power to demonstrate your value. Your worth isn't waiting to be created. It's waiting to be recognized and expressed. The question isn't whether you're valuable. The question is whether you're ready to start living from that truth. The moment you truly understand this, not just intellectually, but in your bones, everything changes. Your posture shifts. Your voice carries new authority. Your decisions align with your true potential. This isn't about becoming something new. It's about returning to who you've always been beneath the layers of doubt and social conditioning. Let me share something remarkable that happened in a laboratory at Harvard University. Researchers took two groups of hotel housekeepers. They told the first group that their daily work, cleaning rooms, changing beds, vacuuming floors, was excellent exercise that burned calories and built strength. The second group received no such information. 4 weeks later, without changing their work routines at all, the first group had lost weight and lowered their blood pressure. Same job, same movements, dramatically different results. The only difference, their mindset. This isn't just a fascinating study. It's a window into one of the most powerful forces in the universe, your mental software. Your mind isn't just observing your reality, it's creating it. Every thought you think is literally rewiring your brain, programming your future, and setting the boundaries of what you believe is possible. Here's what's fascinating. Right now in your mind, there are two control rooms operating simultaneously. The first is your conscious mind, the part that makes deliberate decisions. The second is your subconscious, the autopilot system running countless programs you installed years ago. Most people focus all their energy on the conscious mind while leaving their subconscious on factory settings. Think about the last time you walked into an important meeting, a job interview, or a social situation that mattered to you. What automatic thoughts fired in your brain? I hope I don't mess up. They're probably judging me. I'm not really qualified to be here. These aren't random thoughts. They're programs running in your mental software, and they're sabotaging your confidence before you even open your mouth. But here's the game-changing truth. You can reprogram this software. Your brain has a property called neuroplasticity. It can form new neural pathways at any age. This means that no thought pattern, no matter how deeply ingrained, is permanent. You're not stuck with the mental software you have. You can upgrade it. Let me show you how. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to implement what I call the Mental Mastery Protocol. It consists of 3 powerful practices that will literally rewire your brain for confidence. First, your morning mind programming. Within the first 30 minutes of waking up, your brain is in a uniquely receptive state. This is when you'll do your visualization practice. Spend 5 minutes, not scrolling through social media, but vividly imagining yourself navigating your day with unshakable confidence. See yourself handling challenges with ease. Feel the sensation of being completely certain of your abilities. Your brain can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So this practice literally builds new neural pathways for confidence. Second, pattern interruption. Every time you catch yourself in a negative thought spiral, you'll use what I call the stop, shift, replace technique. Stop the thought in its tracks. Literally say stop out loud if you need to. Shift your physical state. Stand up, move your body, change your facial expression, then replace the thought with its confident alternative. I'm not ready for this becomes I grow through challenges. They won't like me becomes I bring unique value to every situation. Third, the evening mental audit. Before bed, spend 3 minutes reviewing your day's mental performance. What thoughts served you? What patterns need upgrading? This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. You can't upgrade software you don't understand. I worked with a surgeon who used these exact techniques. Despite being technically brilliant, his hands would shake before operations. After 6 weeks of the mental mastery protocol, not only did the shaking stop, but his surgical outcomes improved significantly. His skills hadn't changed, his mental software had. Remember this, your thoughts aren't just passing through your mind, they're building your future. Every self-doubting thought is like a line of faulty code in your mental software. Every confident thought is like an upgrade to your operating system. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe you deserve and what you believe is possible. The question isn't whether you can build unshakable confidence. Your brain is literally designed for this kind of transformation. The question is, are you ready to become the programmer of your own mental software? Let me tell you about a fascinating experiment conducted with a group of photography students. Half the class was graded solely on the quantity of photos they produced. They needed to take 100 photos to get an A. The other half would be graded on quality. They just needed to submit one perfect photo. The surprising result? The quantity group produced not just more photos, but technically superior ones. Why? Because they were taking action, learning from mistakes, and improving through repetition, while the quality group was paralyzed by perfectionism. This reveals a fundamental truth about confidence that most people get backwards. They think, once I feel confident, then I'll take action. But the reality is exactly opposite. Action comes first, confidence follows. It's a law of human psychology as reliable as gravity. Here's what nobody tells you about confidence. It's built in the arena of action, not in the classroom of theory. You can read every book about swimming ever written, but until you get in the water, you'll never learn to swim. Confidence works the same way. It's not a feeling you wait for. It's a result you create through deliberate action. I call this the confidence-competence loop. And understanding it will transform how you approach every challenge in your life. When you take action, even imperfect action, you build competence. As your competence grows, your confidence naturally rises. This increased confidence makes you more likely to take further action, which builds more competence, which generates more confidence. It's an upward spiral, but here's the key. It only starts with action. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. I worked with a tech executive named Michael, who was brilliant at coding but terrified of public speaking. Instead of waiting to feel confident, we designed what I call the progressive challenge protocol. Day 1, record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Day 2, share that recording with one trusted friend. Day 3, speak live to 2 people. Each day, the challenge grew slightly bigger, but remained manageable. Within 6 weeks, Michael was delivering presentations to hundreds of people. Not because he discovered some magical confidence secret, but because he built confidence through progressive action. Each small win created evidence that rewired his brain's expectations. Here's how you're going to implement this in your life starting today. First, identify an area where low confidence is holding you back. Now, we're going to break down the mountain into manageable molehills using these 3 strategies. The first 5 minutes rule. When facing any challenging task, commit to just 5 minutes of action. Want to write a book? Write for 5 minutes. Want to start exercising? Exercise for 5 minutes. This breaks the paralysis of perfectionism and initiates the confidence-competence loop. The daily micro-challenge. Each day, do one small thing that stretches your comfort zone. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Share that idea in a meeting. Speak to someone new. These small acts build your confidence muscle, just like physical exercise builds your body. The progress portfolio. Document every small win, every bit of progress, every lesson learned. This creates tangible evidence of your growth that your brain can't dismiss. Remember, confidence isn't built on perfect performance. It's built on progressive improvement. Think about learning to drive a car. No one starts out confident behind the wheel. You build that confidence through progressive action. Empty parking lots, quiet streets, then gradually busier roads. The same principle applies to every area of life where you want to build confidence. Here's what's crucial to understand. Action doesn't require confidence. Action creates confidence. Every time you take action in the face of fear or uncertainty, you're not just accomplishing a task. You're rewiring your brain's understanding of what you're capable of. The people you admire for their unshakable confidence, they're not fundamentally different from you. They've simply accumulated more evidence of their capabilities through consistent action. They've fallen more times, learned more lessons, and kept moving forward. Starting today, stop waiting to feel confident. Instead, ask yourself, what small action can I take right now that will build my confidence muscle? Then take that action regardless of how you feel. Because here's the truth. The confidence you're seeking isn't hiding in your comfort zone. It's waiting for you in the arena of action. Let me share a revelation that transformed how I view failure. In 2008, a study at Google revealed something extraordinary. They discovered their most innovative and successful teams weren't the ones with the fewest failures. They were the ones that failed the fastest and learned the most from each failure. This isn't just corporate theory. It's a fundamental principle of human excellence. The problem isn't that you fail. The problem is what you make failure mean about you. Most people treat failure like a verdict on their worth. But the most confident people in the world treat failure like scientists treat data, as valuable information that guides their next attempt. Think about this. Thomas Edison made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before successfully inventing the light bulb. When a reporter asked him how it felt to fail 1,000 times, Edison replied, "I haven't failed 1,000 times. I've successfully found 1,000 ways that don't work." That's not positive thinking, that's strategic thinking. Each failure brought him closer to success because he saw it as feedback, not finality. Let me introduce you to what I call the failure feedback loop. Every failure contains 3 types of data: technical feedback about what didn't work, strategic feedback about your approach, and personal feedback about your response under pressure. Most people are so busy trying to avoid or recover from the emotional sting of failure that they miss this goldmine of information. I worked with a trader who lost $2 million in a single day. Instead of letting this crush him, we applied the failure feedback loop. We discovered technical flaws in his trading strategy, strategic gaps in his risk management, and personal insights about his decision-making under stress. Within 6 months, he had not only recovered his losses, but developed a more robust and profitable trading system. The failure wasn't his enemy, it was his teacher. Here's how you're going to transform your relationship with failure starting today. First, we're going to implement the 24-hour rule. When you face a failure, give yourself exactly 24 hours to feel whatever emotions come up. Feel the disappointment, the frustration, the anger. Feel it fully. But when that clock hits 24 hours, you shift from emotion to analysis. Next, you'll use the 3 questions protocol. 1. What specifically didn't work? Technical feedback. 2. How did I approach this, and what could I approach differently? Strategic feedback. 3. What did this experience reveal about my patterns and responses? Personal feedback. Write down your answers. This isn't just journaling. It's creating a personal playbook for future success. Finally, implement what I call the failure reframe. After every setback, complete this sentence. This failure is valuable because... Force yourself to find at least 3 ways this setback serves your growth. Remember, the most successful people aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who extract the most learning from each failure. Consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Every night at dinner, her father would ask, "What did you fail at today?" If she had nothing to report, he would be disappointed. Why? Because he understood that a day without failure is a day without growth. She credits this mindset for giving her the confidence to build $1 billion company despite countless setbacks. Here's the paradox that will transform your confidence. The more comfortable you become with failure, the less you'll actually fail. Why? Because you'll stop seeing challenges as pass-fail tests and start seeing them as experiments in growth. Your fear of failure diminishes when you understand that failure isn't final, it's feedback. Starting today, I want you to actively seek out opportunities to fail forward. Take that risk, make that attempt, share that idea, and when things don't work out perfectly, celebrate, because every failure is bringing you closer to the confidence and success you desire, but only if you have the wisdom to learn from it. Have you ever noticed how a fish doesn't realize it's in water until it's out of it? In the same way, most people don't realize how profoundly their environment shapes their confidence. Your environment isn't just where you live or work. It's the invisible force that either elevates or erodes your confidence every single day. Let me share a revolutionary study from Harvard that proves this point. They discovered that if you become friends with someone who is highly confident, your own confidence levels increase by an average of 45% within 6 months. If you spend time with negative people, your confidence decreases by almost the same percentage. This isn't motivation. It's mathematics of human behavior. Think about it like this. Your mind is like a greenhouse, and your thoughts are the plants. You can have the best seeds of confidence, but if your greenhouse is full of toxic air, those seeds will never flourish. Your environment, the people you surround yourself with, the spaces you occupy, the information you consume, this is the air in your greenhouse. I worked with an entrepreneur who was struggling with confidence despite having an excellent business idea. When we analyzed her environment, we discovered she was spending 2 hours every morning consuming negative news and social media, working in a cluttered space, and regularly meeting with a group of friends who constantly criticized her ambitions. We transformed her environment, and within weeks, her confidence soared. Here's how you're going to architect your confidence environment starting today. First, conduct what I call a relationship audit. Make 3 lists. Energy amplifiers, people who boost your confidence. Energy neutrals, people who neither boost nor drain you. Energy drains, people who diminish your confidence. This isn't about cutting people off. It's about consciously managing your exposure. Increase time with your amplifiers. Be strategic with your neutrals. Limit exposure to your drains. Next, optimize your physical space. Your environment sends you subtle messages about your worth all day long. Clear your workspace. Create a success corner, a space that reminds you of your achievements and possibilities. Dress in a way that makes you feel powerful. These aren't superficial changes. They're environmental cues that program your brain for confidence. Finally, establish what I call confidence rituals, daily practices that reinforce your worth. This might be a morning power hour, a victory journal, or a weekly success review. These rituals create an infrastructure for sustained confidence. Remember this: you can't become who you need to be by remaining in the environment that created who you are. Your environment will either elevate you or limit you. The choice and the change begins today. As we reach the end of our time together, let me be crystal clear about something. Everything we've discussed today, mastering your mind, building competence through action, embracing failure as feedback, knowing your true worth, creating your confidence environment. None of these principles mean anything without your decision to act. Your life transforms the moment you decide to transform it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when the circumstances are perfect, now. Remember the eagle we talked about at the beginning? It remained earthbound not because it couldn't fly, but because it never tried to spread its wings. Don't let that be your story. You have everything within you right now to soar beyond your wildest dreams. Starting this very moment, I challenge you to implement these 5 keys. Start with one action, however small. Make one decision that aligns with your worth. Take one step toward that goal that scares you. Reframe one failure as feedback. Optimize one aspect of your environment. Your future self is watching you right now, hoping you'll make the decision that changes everything. The world is waiting for the gifts that only you can bring. The question isn't whether you can become unstoppably confident. The question is, will you choose to begin? The time for playing small is over. Your era of unstoppable confidence begins now.